What's up? How's everybody doing? It's Kenjo, and I'm back with another 2K video. 2K22 came out about 2 months ago, and I think I've had enough playtime on that game for me to compare to the other 2Ks. So today I want to make a tier list of every 2K since 2K15. But before we get into this video, drop your favorite 2K down in the comments and leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. But that's all I really have to say. Let's get right into this video. Starting with 2K15, I'm putting 2K15 in a decent category. This game came out back in 2014 when I didn't really play 2K like that, if I'm being honest. What I do remember from this game is that there was a demigod glitch where everyone's running around with max height and max attribute characters, and that kind of ruined that game for me. The game wasn't really terrible from what I remember, but it wasn't really a good game either. It had a really basic build system where you would only change your physical attributes in your position. And when I say physical attributes, I mean you would change your height, your weight, your wingspan, and I think your body length. And besides that, it really wasn't anything compared to what we have today. I know a lot of people have this game as one of their most favorite 2Ks out of all the 2Ks on this list, but I just can't really put it that high because I don't remember it being that good. So next on the list, we have 2K16. I'm putting 2K16 in the GOAT category, and I know a lot of y'all are gonna agree with me on that. A lot of people have this game as their favorite 2K of all time. I have it second place, to be honest, but it's still a really good game. This game took a huge leap from 2K16, but I'm gonna start with the My Career. This game had by far the best My Career out of any 2K we've ever seen. It was made in collaboration with Spike Lee, so it actually had a decent story behind it, unlike most other years. This year, a lot of people actually watched the cutscenes and actually kind of cared about the story and the characters, and they also improved the build system. It's not a big jump, but you have the ability to make inside, outside, and balanced characters. And what that basically is you can make a slasher, a sharpshooter, or a character that can do basically everything on the court. I remember playing this game a whole lot with my friends. This is probably when we all started playing 2K a whole lot. So this is what really got me into the 2K series. And I don't want this video to be too long because I don't want to talk about one game for a super long amount of time. So let's hop right into 2K16, which I also have in that GOAT category. I see 2K16 and 2K17 like Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. Yeah, the first one was really good, really iconic. It's a lot of people's favorite game. But I feel like the game after that is basically the same game, but with a lot of improvements made. The My Career in this game was decent, with Michael B. Jordan being your dynamic duo in the story. No 2K has had a story as good as 2K16, so obviously 2K17 wasn't better than that, but the player build system is a big step up this year. They gave us archetypes this year, meaning we got to pick a sharpshooter, a slasher, a playmaker, and all that type of stuff. Yeah, there were some overpowered and stronger builds like the 6'10" point forward, but besides that, it was really balanced. And I think this is also the year where you had to grind for badges instead of just paying for them. In the past, you had to grind to get the badge once, and then you had to pay BC to upgrade them. But this year, you had to grind to get each level for the badges. And they also introduced the Grand Badge in this game, I think, which is basically what we know as Takeover today. 2K17 basically had the same perks as 2K16. A lot of people didn't like that, but to me it wasn't that big of a deal because I didn't really look in the games as hard as I do now. But besides that, the game is pretty good. 2K18 is the next game in the series, and I feel like you already know where it's going. I'm putting it in the trash category. This is the community-wide worst game in the whole 2K series. Starting with the My Career, you have the most unrealistic path to the NBA where you're playing in some random street tournament. You only have to play 2 games and you get recognized by scouts. This game also had unskippable cutscenes, and what makes the cutscenes worse is that the characters were all annoying. Characters like Be Fresh that just said dumb stuff all the time, ATM who wanted beef for no reason, and you had your own My Player who, just like Be Fresh, always said dumb stuff. But the one bright spot about this game is that they added the dual archetype system. It's the same thing as 2K17, except you can pick 2 archetypes instead of 1, or you could pick 1 archetype and have it be just like a 2K17 build, is the best way to say it. But that's really the only good part about this game that I remember. This game has some of the worst gameplay moves, like the snatchback and the blow-bys, where you could do one move and be open for a 3, or you could just run into the opponent and get straight to the paint. This is by far one of the worst 2Ks of all time, and I think it deserves to be in the trash category. I'm going to do 2K19 and 2K20 at the same time. I'm putting them both in the good category. Just like 2K16 and 2K17, these games are really similar, but I would say these games are even more similar than 16 and 17. They had the same perks, and in my opinion the gameplay was really similar, but 2K19 had a different My Career where you start in Asia, then you go to the G League. It was actually kind of cool going through playing overseas because we've never done that in a 2K game before. But the 2K20 story is kind of more basic. It's your regular 2K story where you go to college and you go to the league. 2K20 had pie charts instead of the archetype system, In my opinion, pie charts are basically the same thing, except it's just not as obvious. You have to, like for example, there's the mostly green, partially blue pie chart, which is a slashing sharpshooter. A lot of people have 2K19 over 2K20, but in my opinion, they're on the same level, so they're interchangeable. Doesn't really matter to me. But let's hop into what I would say are the only other two trash 2K games, which is 2K21 current gen and 2K21 next gen. 2K21 current gen is worse than 2K21 next gen. The game is full of people that want to be tryhards. Like everyone wants to be comp. Everyone's running around with the same build. Maybe it's the community that makes me not like this game, but it is what it is. Playing both of these games feels like you have to run the same lineup, with the lineup on current gen being a play shot, a lockdown, and an inside big man. And on 21 it was even worse. Everyone legitimately ran the same build. It was a 6'7" power forward, and you would get Hall of Fame quick first step. They never tried to update or fix these games. And if I'm being honest, I only played these games for the first few months, and I know 2K doesn't make any changes, so I know they didn't get any better throughout their life cycle. And finally, we have 2K22. So I don't really play 2K22 current gen, but a lot of people just say it's the same game that we had for 3 years. I know this game has the same community as 2K21 current gen, where everyone wants to be comp, everyone wants the same builds. The build problem isn't as bad this year, but it's still a problem at the end of the day. People want to run the same build, even though you have the ability to have more diverse builds. So since it's the same thing that we've had for 3 years, the only real big difference is that we get a yacht instead of the regular perk, and the events take us to different islands, which is pretty cool. I'm putting this game in a decent category since it's the same thing we had. But 2K22 next gen, I'm gonna put in a good category. This game could potentially end up being like top 3 all time if they make the right changes. The only real problems with 2K22 is that shooting is too easy. The defense is kind of broken, with interior defense seeming like it doesn't exist, and steals being kind of overpowered. But at times, the game feels bland because we get the same events over and over again. This year, they did improve the build system from 2K21. Instead of everyone running the literally same exact build, there's people running builds all the way from, I think, 5'8" all the way to 6'10". There are people here and there over 6'10", but you don't see that often. But there's a wide variety of builds being used in this game. They also significantly improved my career. My career is not better story-wise, but things you can do in the story are better. Like you have the option to be a rapper or be a fashion model, and those lead you down different career paths. You get different endorsements and stuff. And the biggest thing that they added to 2K22 was seasons. I know I said that game was bland before because of events, but season 1 was pretty cool, but as we got season 2, it was lame in my opinion. The only things that I was looking forward to in season 2 after I saw the battle pass was to get level 40 to get the skeleton, and I think one of the banners was cool, but besides that, I didn't really like anything in the battle pass. If they can improve seasons and they can also add more events and stuff to make the game more fun, give it more playability, this game could easily be in the GOAT tier. And knowing 2K, they're probably not going to make the simple changes that can make this game a top tier game, and they're going to drop an even worse game next year. But if you made it this far in the video, let me know what you would do differently if you made the list yourself. I know you like the video if you made it this far already, so you don't got to worry about that. But have a nice day. Peace out.